Risk, and welcome back to episode 8 of Koppai Podcast. Our deepest apologies that we were not here last week. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Koppai himself, Zach Risk, a.k.a. Bob's Boone.
Hello, everybody.
Koppai! Koppai! We're back in the same room. In kind of an explanation of why we weren't recording last week. We've just been busy with some stuff, and then I traveled back home this weekend. And so we're back recording in the same room. I think it was, what was it, the first 2 episodes? The first 3 episodes that we recorded together.
Yeah, first 2 or 3. I don't know what exactly.
And then we actually were able to, except for that one episode, we had pretty good quality even when separated and stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah, we've just been both pretty busy.
Yeah.
Even the Kaz Risk blog has had a little bit less postings more often. Mm-hmm. The Kaz Risk channel has been having consistent Let's Plays and stuff. And this has been really fun, playing your levels and stuff. But it did some of the My IGN community. And then just you've been busy with school. I've had school as well, and then I started a new job.
Yeah, I had those couple projects that I was working on, and one of them was due right during our usual Koppai recording time, and so
I worked like a 10-hour shift on Sunday, which is usually when we record.
Yeah,
so.
And it was also just kind of a down week, and we were just kind of like, we don't want to force something, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we want it, we are, genuinely busy, but also, we didn't want to force time in. We didn't want to make sure, because we had to do it, we didn't want to be, rushing anything.
Yeah, we didn't want to do it for the sake of just, talking.
Right.
And, if there's ever, we'll usually try to just talk about, even, if there's not big news, maybe we'll just discuss, our Amiibo collections or what games we've been playing and stuff, and just Nintendo in general.
Yeah.
We could probably always find something to talk about with Super Mario Maker. And so, we'll try to find stuff to talk about then. And if we are super busy and there's big news, we'll find time to talk about it, even if it's just certainly. A 20-minute discussion. But that was the combination of last week of being incredibly busy and there being no news just made it so.
And also just the anticipation of knowing that for this episode we're going to be together again.
Yeah, back in person.
It's going to be, that higher quality, of those first few episodes back. And
the chemistry and stuff that was established. And so.
And just kind of a break to kind of get our energy back because, I think that we're revitalized and ready to go for this episode to discuss a whole bunch of news today.
Yeah, and because of that, we have 2 weeks worth of news, which is kind of cool. And some of the news was able to develop over time, which was really interesting. And the first thing I have here is just that we were on a break. What have you been doing? You've been playing lots of Fallout 3.
Lots of Fallout 3.
I'm
really deep into that right now.
Yeah, we talk quite consistently on Facebook. We message each other and stuff, and you will just be gone.
Yeah.
For hours at a time.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like those Skyrim days when I would just be so engrossed in that game and just... I don't know how. I think I spent something almost 500 hours or something playing Skyrim, or 500 plus hours.
I think you were at 600 last time you told me.
Something crazy like that. And so for this game, it's a little bit smaller than Skyrim, but for the Skyrim campaign, it didn't take me really too long to beat through that. So I've just been kind of going at it really hardcore because I want to finally get through that before.
Yeah, I didn't know you hadn't beat it.
I know. I've played it several times and just never made it all the way through. But yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing is playing a lot of Fallout 3 and some Destiny on the side. And Super Mario Maker. I've kind of taken a little bit of a break from it because I did make that Super Bobbly Bros.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for a moment.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Destiny. I've been playing a ton of Destiny.
Yeah, I know. You've been playing, you say... me playing Fallout 3 a lot, you've been playing a lot of Destiny in the same kind of way.
My roommate plays it, and I just got my guy leveled up to one of the max kind of levels. I'm working on another character to get him leveled up, and it's just so nice to have those daily incentives. I even wrote a blog about that, where it's just do you guys like tasks or do you like long storylines? Yeah. And Fallout 3 is kind of nice because you can go in there and just do those quick tasks, but Destiny really has that kind of addiction thing. It's kind of an Activision thing where they just know how to get people to stay hooked so they don't sell their game and just do daily bounties. And it's kind of also in the midst of Happy Home Designer. I love going in there and just designing a house real quick and getting out and stuff. Wow. Yeah, so I'm excited also kind of in the midst of talking about Fallout and stuff. I'm really excited. I was looking today, I was at GameStop, and I did buy Fallout 3.
Yeah, I noticed you bought New Vegas as well.
Yeah,
right?
And I've beaten both of those. I didn't beat the DLC of Fallout 3, and sorry, this is a Nintendo podcast, but we're talking about games, whatever. Well, it all correlates to each other. I never played. I played like the pit of Fallout 3, and I did like one of the other DLCs, but there's like 2 others I never even touched.
Yeah.
And then New Vegas, I did all the DLC. I rebeat the main story. I think I did literally every single mission, but now I want to go back and get the trophies and just refamiliarate myself with that world, that culture, that lore.
Yeah.
And so when they mention the whole the Institute and the Commonwealth in Fallout 4, I'll kind of know, these are who the Commonwealth are.
Yeah.
Really a darn shame that it's not coming to the Wii U. Simply for the fact that, I mean, I wouldn't play it on the Wii U because I want the trophies and stuff, and Koppai and all that. But
yeah, well, both of those things are actually something I kind of got here towards the end. I thought of things we could possibly discuss about how I really think that Nintendo needs one of those open world kind of Fallout sort of games on their system. And I know that they have Black Flag, which I don't have on the Wii U.
I almost got it for the Wii because I really wanted to support the gamepad, but then I got hooked on trophies.
Right, and that's kind of and I guess Zelda's coming, and that'll be kind of their...
And Xenoblade.
Somewhat. And Xenoblade is also... Is that really truly like an open world game, though, would you say?
Xenoblade?
Like, yeah.
Xenoblade's incredibly open world.
Yeah.
Like, Xenoblade has a huge...
Because I never played the original Xenoblade, but I have seen a lot of footage of it, and
what I played of the original, and I didn't get too far in it, but what I played of the original was very much so, I mean, like a Fallout, like a Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls, I guess, is where you start off like kind of in a hub world, but then you go off to the Guar Plains and stuff, like which is a stage in Smash Bros.
But it's not like, is it like Witcher 3 kind of open world where it's sectionalized? And
it is very sectionalized. Yeah. I mean, in a sense, you could say that Skyrim is pretty sectionalized with the Rift and with the Windhelm area. And,
but it's all open in those. Like, you go... Like, there's no loading, like, once
I don't think there's at least in Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, there's going to be no loading, from what I saw.
Yeah, I think I heard that, too. Which I'm really excited for that. So maybe that's... I almost wrote that in the notes, that Xenoblade might be that title. But I just thought that was an interesting thought, because... Definitely, I know even in Kind of Funny, I believe it was talking about how the open world genre is maybe getting a little oversaturated. We're getting a little too much of it.
Yeah,
which I don't know if I agree with that totally.
I don't agree with that at all.
I definitely think that it's not on the Wii U for sure, and the Wii U definitely needs some more of it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, Nintendo has such rich and vibrant characters, and especially like like, just the worlds and stuff, like Hyrule. I mean, I guess, like, Skyward Sword is, I don't know, but even that has the loading screens and stuff. Or Wind Waker is a good example.
Yeah, Wind Waker, yeah, definitely.
And that was just, like, I remember playing Wind Waker, especially on the Wii U, where you could have, like, just playing on the gamepad with, like, Netflix playing in the background or something. Like, it was so nice to just explore the ocean.
Yeah. And
go dig for treasure and stuff and all that. And hopefully it seems like... Zelda NX is kind of shaping up to be like that. Where it's
definitely. Well, and they've even mentioned about
side quests and stuff.
Yeah, and playing Far Cry 4 and stuff. The developers were talking about taking inspiration from that. So I'm thinking, and then delaying the game a bit more to perfect it even more. I think that they saw a lot of the current games, the open world saturation, were kind of... I think they wanted to refine it even more, make sure that they didn't just put out something that was... less than and didn't feel up to par with so many of these already existing games.
It was kind of cute where he'd be like, you can set a waypoint and you can go anywhere on those mountains. And it's like, that's from 2008. Yeah. Like, I could go on any mountaintop or anything in Fallout.
And Zelda was always this such an innovative, groundbreaking game that I think that they were like, we really need to pull this. And I think it's almost the same way with Star Fox, which Star Fox. Not as revolutionary culturally as Zelda, but I do think that Star Fox has always been kind of a groundbreaking technologically sort of what the system can do game, and it seems that what we saw was a little bit down from that usual par. Although they did kind of break that with a whole bunch of side games and stuff in the GameCube era. It seems they kind of took Star Fox and just put it down like into... Like, they took it down a level of we don't need to make it as groundbreaking revolutionary. But it did seem like this was supposed to be a bit of a return to form, and it wasn't quite there. And so they said, we're going to hold back and try to polish it up a bit more.
Yeah, it seems like we were talking about kind of like the games we've been gaming in the past couple weeks. and it seems I was playing a little bit of the Battlefront beta. Yeah. And kind of thought about Star Fox in the midst of that, because I remember thinking, like, that's so... I think it was supposed to release in the same day for a while there.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so stupid to have these... I mean, you have Star Wars or Star Fox.
That would be a sad battle.
Yeah, that would have... Star Fox would have lost. Yeah. But then again, though, I did play a lot of the beta, and the beta was very fun, very beautiful. Did you play it at all?
I unfortunately didn't get a chance. I played a lot of Fallout 3. Like I said, I've been so busy with that.
I think the beta still goes on until tomorrow.
Yeah.
At least on the Xbox One, I saw they were posting like advertisements for it, so get a chance to check that out. If you guys are listening to us, you'll listen.
Well, isn't it something also like 8 gigabytes, something like that? And I did go to try to start downloading it, and it said enter my credit card information, so I did, and it said it's wrong, and so I just I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go back to Fallout 3.
Yeah. I played it for a little bit, and my goodness, it's a gorgeous game.
Yeah.
And especially like when you're shooting and stuff, the particle effects, the lasers and all that. But it was very repetitive, and because it's a beta, you're playing 2 maps over and over again. Like the Splatoon test fire was also pretty boring.
Right.
But it did make me think, okay, well that's how Star Fox would have won. Well, Star Fox does have that epic space adventure, which got cut from Battlefront, so... but I mean, even that, though, at the same time I was thinking, like, how in the world did they think they could get by with Star Fox, with how bad it looked, and then you have a game like this, and going back, kind of tying this all together, going back to the Zelda thing and stuff, it's like, Nintendo, you were in a box for a bit or something, and you play a game like Fallout 3, and you play a game like Battlefront, or even Destiny, like, the amount of stuff you can do in Destiny, and just the continuous replay, and the mechanics, and just the lore, the grimoire, and all of that, it's just like, there's so much to this game, and there's... not that much to 3D World beyond the basic levels, which are incredible levels, but it's like the standard, they're not meeting that anymore compared to a lot of other games, which I've kind of realized, I mean, because I hadn't played PS4 since like May, and kind of going to playing like Destiny and the Battlefront beta, and you go into Fallout 3, it's kind of been a chance to step away from Nintendo for a bit and been like, yeah, they do need to improve on a lot of things. And I don't want to be like down towards Nintendo with Koppai, but like, it is kind of like going into the holiday season, and we kind of start off with our last topic first here. Just that's kind of a big thing that I've noticed. That's just like, I hope, especially with the NX, and I don't want to sound like one of those guys who like, I want Nintendo to do what everyone else is doing, because that's been the beauty of Nintendo, is they don't do what everyone else is doing. But at the same time, like, don't do what everyone's doing, but do something different that's better. Yeah. They're doing something different, and it's worse. It's like,
well, I was saying. Kind of thinking for a second, I almost wonder if, like, for example, Fallout and Far Cry, these series that have been around for, you know, the past decade or couple decades or so, and a series like The Legend of Zelda or Mario, it seems, and not to take away from those series at all, because I definitely love Mario and think that, and Zelda, and I love The Link Between Worlds.
Clearly we love, yeah.
And I think they're really fun, great games, but I wonder almost in a way if, to some degree, on some level of those people working on those games, just the fire of, like, I wonder how many of those games are just commissioned, or... they say, you know, we need to make a new Zelda game, or we need to make a new Mario game, whereas...
Splatoon.
Even, I was going to say, if that's a new IP, but where Fallout 3 and, or Fallout 4 and Far Cry, and these games from these younger developing teams that just have more of a innovative, like, we're going to try some new things and add a whole bunch. We are passionate about... adding tons of side lore and, you know, just writing for hours and hours. And maybe are these Zelda games, I'm wondering, to a degree, are they just more like by the books, like, we're going to make a Zelda game now, instead of what kind of crazy, innovative, like, everybody's, like, making up their own, like, concept art of a creature they want to, like, you know, kind of things these young teams seem to do, where they really just go into more, like... Hands, like, where, like, even
or even like they have, like,
Primal coming out is like kind of an idea where just this small team like came, and you know they do. I'm like, again, I don't want to take away too much, because they do things like Triforce Heroes and stuff, like where they do kind of some different innovate, or even Captain Toad, where they'll take a franchise and
even that those with the younger developers, though,
right? Like, where they'll take a smaller team and like they'll come up with an idea and do it. So I don't want to fully take away from that, but I do just wonder to some degree if there's a bit of that where some of the employees or some of the mentality behind commissioning some of these games is more of like, because maybe some of it's a bit forced sometimes, I'm wondering, more so than some of these other naturally coming games.
Like, I think the big thing is, like, with an example like Fallout, for example, like, you have the Commonwealth, like I mentioned, and established kind of through Fallout 1 and 2 and tactics, and then in 3, like, especially like with like kind of being in Washington and talking to those people, it's like, oh, MIT and stuff over in Boston and all that. And it's always just kind of, because there's so much dialogue in that game, there's so many like opportunities for them to like name drop something that doesn't get used at all later, and then they can really fully develop it later and just give a team like full reign. And so like you see the androids that are being developed for Fallout 4, and it's a really big deal. And it seems like they kind of could do that with something like Zelda, where they've mentioned, I mean, Majora has such a rich history where it's like, what's the deal with this mask? Where did this mask come from? Where did the Happy Mask Salesman come from?
Yeah.
Or they mentioned certain things like, oh, in the legend and stuff. I mean, it's just sticking so much with the same reincarnated green Link, green tunic, and
that's what I was wondering.
Zelda and stuff, and like, it seems like they almost need to be like, almost even like take just the story completely away from Hyrule, completely away. And they've done that with Terminus, definitely, and they've done that with Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass.
But it's always somewhat of a reinvention of that same concept.
Yeah, and I like that consistency. Like, it's cool that you always get that, like, it's kind of creative almost in a way of how unoriginal they're being, like, where they're like trying to find a way to be original with the unoriginal content.
Right.
But at the same time, it'd be cool for eventually, like with Iwata's passing and with Miyamoto's kind of role of being like just the creative kind of overhead, it'll be interesting to see if eventually like one of these younger teams is they're gonna be like, we can't get rid of Zelda, but we can't do it anymore, so we have to give it to this younger team. Yeah. And they're just gonna do something that they've grown up with, these open world games, and they know the potential, and they're gonna be like, finally we can do what we've always wanted to do, and we get the Zelda name with it. Like, that's just gonna be like cool to see that next generation star.
Yeah, I hope that it eventually comes where we get that Ocarina of Time sort of Zelda again, where it's that new jump for the series that we've never experienced before. And I hope we actually get that, and it like is never because I'm still a bit skeptical if the next Zelda is gonna be, because I think I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be awesome, but I'm skeptical if it's gonna be that huge leap.
I think it's gonna be like one of the best Zelda games. It's gonna be a great Zelda game, which is almost its own genre.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna be the best open world game. I don't think it's gonna be maybe even necessarily the best puzzle game out there. Yeah. I think it'll just be a great Zelda game, which, I mean, I don't know. Mario's always been the best platformer. It's been like the best like Galaxy was the best Mario game so far, well, arguably, and it was the best platformer, 3D platformer. Like, Knack tried to do it and couldn't do it. Little Big Planet tried to do the platforming, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What's an Xbox platformer? I honestly don't really know if that's kind of their lacking genre, isn't it? Sunset Overdrive kind of had a little bit of platforming mechanics, but
I think they've been pretty smart with Mario so far, except for a little bit of oversaturating the new Super Mario Brothers series a bit. But for the most part of their like mainline, moving Mario to the 3D space and doing the galaxies, seems like they've been for a while like very intelligent about not rushing or forcing a Mario next mainline project, and only doing it when it's time to do it. And doing something like Super Mario Maker in the meantime too, and even new Super Mario Bros. Seemed like something in the meantime between the
new Super Mario Brothers U seemed like it was pumped, like, especially in hindsight where we know like that sells the best. It seemed like they're like that was playing it very safe. Like, here's a launch title that we know will sell.
Yeah,
and I think though, like, for the other people that just didn't really do it, it's like the people that would buy a side-scrolling Super Mario Brothers game had already bought new Super Mario Brothers Wii, so they didn't need to buy the U one. And the people that would have been able to advertise the U and really push the U didn't want new Super Mario Brothers U because they wanted something more hardcore. And so it's just that was kind of a bad strategy on financial numbers and stuff. But no, I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I have been playing lots of Happy Home Designer. I found out to correct a few things from my last Koppai. I complained about the amiibo cards and still think they should be used for more. But you can do more of them.
I still haven't seen a pack of amiibo cards out in the wild.
I went to Target and they had like a whole shelf full.
Really?
I bought 2 packs and then the next day I went back, they were all gone.
Wow.
I have no idea how I grabbed 2 packs. But I got, who did I get? I got like Sable. That's one of my rare ones. And then, gosh, I don't even know the other one. It was just like 2 like clothing people. Like, the hairstylist and then Sable. It's like Shampoodle or whatever. And then I have Tortimer that I got with the initial game. And Tortimer is by far my favorite. I made him this beach house. It made it so it was made all of ice cream and gingerbread things. I put a little kind of, like one of those like kind of like dome chairs out in his beach. And so he just sits out on the beach and watches people and stuff. And then he goes inside and it's all candy and all that. Like just gave him a place, lots of regal furniture and stuff. Just want to give him a nice retirement home. And I go and I hang out with him sometimes. Because that's the 2 cool things about the game is the amiibo cards you can scan in and you can just immediately design someone's house. Because normally you just play and it's randomized who you get a design for next. But the amiibo cards allow you to be like, I want to make a house for Deli right now. And then it also allows you to, in the town, there's like a school, there's a hospital, I think, that comes later. I know there's like a cafe that you can make. And that's a really cool part of the game too, where you can design like a whole school. And it's like a big room. You can make it kind of like, you can make it a music school, whatever kind of school you want. So you're kind of saying earlier like that there may not be a lot of room for customization. So like I know for a fact my school looks different than a lot of other people's because I put an emphasis on this kind of lecture hall area, but also made it so it's different here. Mm-hmm. And in the school you can have a teacher. And normally that's randomized, but if you have the cards, you can put down the card and be like, I want this person to be the teacher whenever I go into the school. And so Deli's the teacher at my school. And so I walk in and Deli's up there with the glasses on and he's pointing at the chalkboard and teaching everyone. And the citizens are randomized. Or you can actually put down the amiibo cards to make that not randomized either. But like, Deli's always teaching. I always have, I think it's like Mint the squirrel. She's always at the cafe serving and stuff. And so like, the more cards you can get, like when I eventually get Wolfgang, who he's not out yet as a card, I'm going to make Wolfgang and Deli probably the 2 servers at the cafe. And that just seems like the dream team. Or if I ever get Kurt. And just, it's kind of cool. You always have that fear when you play New Leaf that eventually Wolfgang's going to move away. Eventually Deli's going to move away, you know? And these cards make it so they'll never, ever leave. Yeah. Which is really cool. And that you can go visit their house and they have talking things.
So some of the people leave if you don't have in this game?
If you can still go visit them. And so what the cards do that, like normally, so it's all randomized, and the cards also make it so you can bring someone into someone else's house. Uh-huh. So if I go to Tortimer's house, I can scan in a Deli card, I can scan in a Mint card, and I can scan in, I don't know what other cards I have, or like Jeremiah, the bullfrog, I can scan him in. And then they'll come to the house, but I can't do that with anyone else. But I can go visit anyone else. The amiibo cards just give you demand over who shows up and who's where. And so, like, in theory, Deli could have randomly been a teacher for the school, but now I can force it and lock him in to be the teacher. But Deli would have never ever visited Tortimer's house unless I had the amiibo card.
Yeah.
And that also allows you to do things like you can redesign their house whenever you want if you have the card. I don't think you can redesign someone's house unless you have the card, and so that kind of gives you the opportunity to go back and redesign things if you unlock items later. And so it's just kind of that nice feed into it, and so they do have a lot more value than just someone coming and visiting. You can do a lot more things, and I just still wish you could store someone's house on there. Seems weird that you can't, but I don't know how much data that is, so that was my biggest complaint. But I just had to correct that from last Koppai, because last Koppai I was like, you can't do anything with these, and I just had to unlock it. And I may even be able to do more. There's like a little phone thing in the whole lobby that you can use. It's called the Amiibo phone. Huh. And it looks cool. It's like a big red phone. Wow. It has a little A on it. But lots of cool stuff that gradually developed as I kept playing after that initial episode. And so, just like Animal Crossing would, I should have known better that it would have done more.
But there's still stuff in New Leaf that I have not experienced, you know.
I haven't even upgraded my house fully in that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a
25 lot of minutes solo.
Yeah, there's a lot
but
of
that was a good discussion. That was good.
Definitely.
That was basically, I don't even know what to title that when I do the time codes. Maybe
it was kind of a recap of what we've been up to, you know.
What we've been up to and how Nintendo can improve on what we've been up to.
Yeah.
So Bill Trennan, if you're listening.
Yeah, Bill. Get
Fallout Hyrule Edition.
Yeah.
Or I don't even want to necessarily sound though I'm like make everything Fallout or make everything Destiny or make everything, but it's just like we've talked about it. You know what we're saying. Hopefully, if you don't, leave a comment because comments generates discussion and more views and get the ball forward.
Yeah, I definitely love we love those games and any criticism it's just thought putting out there just kind of ideas.
And I like that we have that as ideas. Especially episode 8 now we've kind of established we love Nintendo. Yeah. We talked about Super Mario Maker for 1 hour.
We have a Nintendo podcast, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have a Fallout podcast or a Microsoft or a Sony yet. Yeah. Although with PS I Love You XOXO, it may be a while until we start our PlayStation podcast.
Yeah, we have a lot to compete with there.
Yeah.
But because I was thinking we were maybe going to make that announcement here sometime soon, but we might have to. We'll have to postpone that a little bit, but that's coming someday.
Yeah,
we're gonna have some more things coming, even that and other things, and
this game it's been nice to just keep expanding this online stuff.
Yeah.
And send in an application to IGN.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I have hope for that. So keep me in your thoughts, Koppai listeners. But just send the good vibes over to San Francisco.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. Hopefully we'll be able to keep doing Koppai. I don't know what the rule is with that. Because I know Greg and Colin couldn't do gaming stuff when they were at IGN.
Right.
Because it would take away. But I also know some people stream, and also I'd be freelance, so I don't know if that would what that would be. But I don't even have the job yet. I don't even have hope for that yet. So we'll have to see. Man, so much to talk about. Anyway, moving forward, new Super Smash Bros. Stages.
Oh, yeah.
Super Mario Maker stage and the Wind Waker stage. Wind Waker was a surprise. I think we talked about Super Mario Maker before because we kind of talked about how that maybe is slopes. Maybe hinted at slopes.
We did discuss it when the announcement was made, yes.
But I actually haven't played it yet. I've watched footage of both of them being played.
Yeah. I actually went and checked it out today. Because I knew we were going to be recording this and I wanted to kind of experience it and check out what it was like. And so I did check out both stages, and I didn't check out the Super Mario Maker stage on the 3DS version yet. I did get it, but I figure they're probably the same. I almost went in and checked it, but I was just kind of caught up with time. And
I also want to talk about maybe even eventually, and I'm just going to plant this seed right now so maybe people could comment down in the comment section. But just the idea, we can talk about it later, but Super Mario Maker for the 3DS with something like that Smash stage. But
it made me think about that for sure. But yeah, the Wind Waker stage, there's not really too much to report there. I tried it out. It's really pretty. It works exactly how you would expect from the Brawl stage, and it just looks like HD and beautiful and brought up to the Wind Waker HD level. And the Super Mario Maker stage was probably the most interesting because the first formation that I get, it changes every single time you play it. The first formation it had this kind of how Smash stages you can do in the builder, where you can put lava in it, and it had lava in there where you could fall in, and it was just it made me think, I hope that they add placeable water and placeable lava.
Yeah, really weird having cheap in Super Mario Maker and no water.
Yeah. And another thing is they had, I did get to see finally, and I've probably seen it before in one of the videos I've watched, but just one of my levels had the slopes and had it switched to the Super Mario Bros. Style, and just looking at it just is how I would expect them to do it, with that cut in the slice of the block.
Well, even when you play, when you do the airship or something, I've done where I've built the airships in the sky, in the Super Mario Brothers theme, and it makes it so that it's slopey there.
Yeah.
And it's just the bottom half of it slopes. I mean, they have whatever it is. I mean, and in Mario, if he jumps against it, he slides like that. I mean, it's just all. I mean, it's possible. It's very, very easy.
Yeah.
It's 2015. You can put a slope in the game.
Yeah.
And, that makes no sense.
I definitely think that it's just really telling because I don't know. I just think I was thinking about it. Made me think about the Duck Hunt stage, for example, and how the Duck Hunt stage is very, and even the the balloon fight stage is just very it's very flat, rectangular. If they wanted to stick to, It's not like they said, this every Smash stage has to have like a slanted part. Like that's just part of Smash. It's just like, why would they put it there if they're not trying to like hint at something, or if they weren't told like it's coming or something like that. And I also, when you mentioned the Mario Maker on 3DS, it just made me think about, it's interesting that the stage came out on 3DS in general, and I was just thinking it's maybe not putting the builder in the whole game itself, but I don't know why
I would see Course World on there.
Course World, I don't know why necessarily that couldn't be it. The only issue I could see with that is just the amount of enemies and resources that they allow to be used in a level, and
even that,
frame rate issues.
That like,
and
it seems
that would be.
Hyrule Warriors, for example, was being ported to the 3DS, and
true.
Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS. Like, it seems like they would have a workaround to maybe sacrifice certain things. Like maybe it wouldn't have.
Well, I just wondered if perhaps originally, like Super Smash Bros., perhaps it was floated the idea of potentially doing Super Mario Maker on 3DS. I wonder if almost every single game they've been like, could we do this on Wii U and 3DS?
I think the only reason maybe Super Mario Maker was on 3DS is just because they really wanted it to drive Wii U sales and really push the gamepad.
Well, and also, I don't know, it just seems it's an interesting feat to think about.
I would never think about putting Super Mario Maker on there to like make levels, because just the bottom screen is square, wouldn't work. But I just always was surprised that they didn't even have it like you can play the levels on there.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like Course World would be perfect on there.
Yeah.
And play your levels on the go, download them onto there. Like, even have like download play where you just download your levels.
The only thing that I can see is just the enemy thing in New Super Mario Bros. U style. Because of just that's like the most intensive. It's
they even have New Super Mario Bros. On 3DS.
I know that's
the coins. The coins are so good.
Yeah,
I want that power up so bad in Super Mario.
It makes me think of how when Super Smash Bros. First came out, everybody went like Rosalina 8 players, 8-man Smash, just to
drop it pretty much.
See, I don't think it really dropped it at all. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I think it was a pretty good test. I think it held up pretty well. I don't think I remember noticing like any drops. I think they tested that pretty well, but it makes me think about that, and I don't know. It's an interesting thought, but I did not get a chance to try it out on that. But I really liked the stage on the Wii.
Yeah, what I've seen looks nice. We've talked about that just through the reveal trailer. I mean, and it just plays as you think it would play, and then the Wind Waker stage, which was such a pleasant surprise. I was very disappointed when that wasn't in the initial game.
Yeah.
Because especially with Wind Waker HD, like, what? Why was that not in there?
Well, it's just so cool that they just keep adding, like, a stage like that. Like, just not, just a random stage kind of.
I love Omega Mode, too. Like, how it's just, like, the top of the pirate ship.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
And, and I just love how the stage list just grows and grows. Because it was kind of, I remember when the game first came out, it was like, yeah, it's a good amount of stage, but it almost seemed like about the same amount as Brawl, or even like a less, or a couple less. I'm not sure exactly. I think maybe there's a little bit more, but it just didn't seem like... It seemed... I remember there was some statistic about how each Smash game has like this amount more stages added to it. Like, and I think Wii U had less than that. And now it seems like they've really gone overboard on just adding tons of extra stages and making it the most fully fledged, like, maybe it's such an epic.
Maybe a tad overpriced. I was thinking the other day, like, just even buying new characters. It's like, wait, I've almost rebought the game for like not much more of the content,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if each character would have been priced the same price as Mewtwo, it would have been like an expensive game.
That's kind of a thing that I don't know what the name of it is, but just the overpricing of Smash DLC. They've had a little bit of an issue with that because Mario Kart was so reasonable in their offering of that price, and
even if you think like any other game, like how much was the original game like as far as hours go, and how much is this? I mean, and you think that, I mean, if to add in Mewtwo does mean Sakurai has to go back and retest every single character, and make it work with that. So I mean, it's almost as if every new character is refreshed in a way, so that kind of justifies the price. At the same time, it's like I've spent like almost $60 again for what? 6 more characters?
Yeah.
And the original game came with 50.
Speaking of new characters.
Oh, Zach Way.
Shovel Knight amiibo.
Koppai Shovel Knight amiibo.
Yeah. There's this thing about on the website. It was listed as a compatible for training in Smash Brothers, and you were kind of you're doubtful about it. And I'm also skeptical. I'm not saying that I think it's like 100%
on the Super Smash Bros. Site. It says this
on the Super Smash Bros. Site. It says amiibos that can be used for training, and it has.
It doesn't have like the Animal Crossing ones.
No, it doesn't. It has like Falco.
Does it have chibi-robo?
I didn't see chibi-robo.
No zipline.
It looked to me what I saw.
Giant
all
robots.
All right. Except Shovel Knight was.
Did it look like the Shovel Knight amiibo that we've seen? Like,
yeah, it did.
The officially announced one. That kind of bums me out that he's not like a new amiibo if he is Smash compatible.
Yeah.
But no,
people were thinking like, does he just unlock like the sword fighter or something maybe? And it's just like I don't know.
That'd be stupid.
We should probably kind of run through some of these news topics here, but I was just to kind of move along from that. Some
you don't want to talk about that anymore?
Well, no, it's kind of related to that.
Okay, then we'll start about Smash. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's still Smash related, but this Shovel Knight, they're saying with this news of it appearing on the website, this customizable thing, this former NOA employee came out and he said that Shovel Knight is actually not going to be the next DLC character.
Next DLC.
It didn't say, it's just not ruling it out that it's ever going to happen.
Okay.
And even, maybe I should go back for a second, because even, who makes, is it like Platonic who makes Shovel Knight, or who makes Shovel Knight?
Yacht Club Games.
Yacht Club, yeah.
Platonic is ukulele.
Yeah, you're right. Yacht Club Games, yes, makes it, and they came out and said that kind of a vague like disconfirmation of it, the same way that they did of the amiibo coming out initially.
Although it is kind of interesting, they canceled the Xbox One retail copy, delayed the PS4, and at the same time they're offering up an amiibo to Nintendo platforms. Seems like a little bit of favoritism, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yacht Club Games knows their roots.
But this former NOA employee, he's coming out and said that the next one, at least, is not going to be Shovel Knight, Wolf, or Shantae. And Wolf, it makes sense that they've delayed Star Fox, which we were thinking maybe we'd hear an announcement about Wolf here soon, but it makes more sense that we'd kind of got to wait on that until, and they feel safe and comfortable, like, pushing him aside. But the guy says this, that they're
gonna release a Star Fox amiibo line. There's no way they're not doing that.
Yeah.
We have like Fox and Falcon.
Yeah.
Like a whole separate line
Definitely.
for Star Fox, and you scan in. Isn't there like an R-Wing amiibo, I thought? Or did I dream that?
Yeah.
I have some pretty vivid amiibo dreams.
Yeah. That's kind of sad.
I also had a dream where Windfall was a new stage in Smash Bros. From Wind Waker.
Anyway, this NOA employee says that this next DLC character is a newcomer. So I guess that means it's not going to be like Ice Climbers or something. Just like, is that the only one that we're missing, really? Okay, a newcomer.
Beat you.
The character is popular, but may not be the #1 character on the ballot. Okay.
This character would make a lot of buzz in the social media.
Kind of like a Pac-Man or a Mega Man.
Or maybe like the Bumblebee suit Mario from Super Mario Galaxy 2.
No.
Because like a Bumblebee buzz.
Oh.
He's a first party character. Wait, does it say he anywhere?
No, this character. And it shouldn't be a surprise.
Nah. And then apparently it's a newcomer plus a new stage. It's Splatoon Inkling.
You think so?
I think it's newcomer, popular, but probably wouldn't be requested on the ballot #1.
And a new stage, a Splatoon stage.
Yeah, like Inkopolis. Inkopolis would be perfect.
Yeah.
Ink covering different parts of it and stuff.
Oh man.
The inclusion wouldn't be a surprise. Obviously Splatoon, like it'd be very obvious. A first party character, Splatoon. Yeah, Inkling. With four costumes being different colors of the boy, 4 costumes being different colors of the girl.
You could be right.
You shoot ink at people, and if you shoot ink at them, and they walk in it, they're like, ugh, and you can do like ink bombs. You can do ink Zuka as your final smash.
I don't really have anything to offer, so
That's the official Koppai prediction.
That's the Koppai prediction.
That is
Inkling and Inkopolis.
Yeah, Inkopolis.
Inkopolis, yeah.
You played Splatoon.
I have. I didn't know if it was Inktopolis or Inkopolis.
Inkopolis. I'm being Bops Anonymous.
It's been actually a while. I've been thinking, like, I really need to get back on Splatoon and, like, the video games. I've been playing Fallout 3. Trying to get through this.
And Woolly World comes out.
Woolly World's coming out Friday.
And I just got the Uncharted collection. I got to play through that. And you've never played Uncharted. You need to start the Uncharted collection.
Buy Uncharted collection.
You haven't even bought it yet. And then you have what is it? Actually, it's pretty much Woolly World, and then Fallout 4, November 10th. Yeah. The good thing is, honestly, which is kind of sad, honestly. Good thing Nintendo isn't really giving us too much to deal with this holiday season.
I know, it's brutal.
If Zelda U would have come out this winter, probably would have been ignored a lot. Yeah. And same with Star Fox. I wonder how much of this podcast is just the papers just quietly going in the back. Yeah, I think it's definitely. I feel it deep down in my bowels that it's the Inklings.
Yeah, it's going to be very soon. It's supposedly be released by the end of the month. That's pretty crazy.
By the end of October? I'm just trying to think, why would they do that? Like, what, is there a Splatoon holiday coming out? When did the game come out? It came out, like, in May, so it's not like a...
Only Yoshi is coming out this month, and we already have
Yarn Yoshi DLC. Yarn Yoshi Smash, and you can shoot out little yarn balls, and...
Well, actually... That Yarn Yoshi amiibo is also alongside the Shovel Knight amiibo on the customizable for use in training.
No, if the DLC is Yarn Yoshi, that's the new fighter, and he shoots yarn balls.
It makes so much sense.
There's a Yarn Yoshi stage though already in Smash.
And the amiibo comes out this month, so it'll be out for it.
That would be so stupid. People would be so mad if they didn't get King K. Rool, but they got Yarn Yoshi. That's like the 10th Mario character. Although Yoshi's his own separate franchise. Yeah. And he had different wool colors. And he'd turn like a little helicopter and stuff, and I would honestly not be surprised. Those are our two predictions. And I'll go with Inkling, you go with Yarn Yoshi, and we'll see who's right. Oh man. My gosh. I love that. I think we're the only Nintendo podcast that has thrown out the idea of Yarn Yoshi being the new Smash fighter. Not only is the character affiliated with Smash Bros. According to those in the know, but the character is supposed to be revealed very soon. Oh yeah, you said that. All right. Speaking of very soon, Triforce Heroes is really, really close. October 23rd. Yay! I don't care.
Yeah, I've tried to get excited about it and I just can't. So,
no, I think even Jose over on the Nintendo voice chat was talking about how fun it is to have the wacky shenanigans where one person was pointing you this way and the other person had the arrow that way. I'm like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. I'm yawning even as you're talking about it.
No excitement.
I'd love to link between worlds, but they really, if anything, they should have done a new single player side game or something like that. I don't know.
Made it I don't like it at all. Sorry for those listening to Koppai that are like, they're gonna start talking about Triforce Heroes. Oh, that's so mean to someone that may have been excited about it. You're not stupid. You're just really weird. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I didn't. Maybe if you do like Triforce Heroes and you are excited, maybe don't feel like an idiot, but maybe somehow justify it in the comment section because I don't get it. I don't get the sort of hype.
I wasn't trying to. The thing that I was implying is that they're overexcited,
sure.
Not they're really, really stupid.
Moving on. Speaking of really, really stupid hackers that ruin the game for people and destroy it and make your save file go away, which is the reason I haven't been playing Splatoon. I'm gonna read.
Me too.
That's why I haven't. Splatoon had that hacker online that made it so that it looked like an Octoling and Octarian, Octodad, where they would delete your save file. Apparently, it's mostly taken care of, so you're good to go. Go splat on and stay fresh. Stay fresh! you kind of touched on it a little bit, but chibi-robo Ziplash is out already, October 8th. Thoughts? None.
Yeah.
The amiibo looked really cute. I like the idea of the character.
Yeah.
Honestly, is chibi-robo a first-party character? Maybe he's the new Smash DLC.
Yeah.
Although he would not create a lot of buzz in the social media.
No. Neither would Yarn Yoshi, and honestly, I don't think the Inkling would make too much.
I think the Inkling would.
Yeah, it would make more buzz than the Yarn Yoshi, definitely, for sure.
Especially in Japan.
But I don't think in Japan.
And is Yarn Yoshi a newcomer? I guess he is, but I got this chibi-robo. It has a 66 average on Metacritic. Looks a bit bland. Not the chibi-robo I start off with.
Yeah, these are kind of my notes here about just that.
Seems really messed up.
Yeah, there's a few issues that I've heard of the game because I did a little bit of research on it because I know that you and I haven't really kept up too much on the chibi-robo, and so I did a little research on it without going a little beyond just watching the trailer for it, and I just haven't. Every time I see the commercial for it, it's like, here's Chibi-Robo. He's a little adorable little robot who's gonna go.
He is adorable though. Like even Callie Plecky over on IGN, she reviewed it, and that was honestly, I think, the saving grace of the game. That was like one of her big pluses in that final box. Was he's really cute though, and the amiibo. Like I probably may buy the amiibo eventually because that amiibo is like a little robot guy with a plug in it as a
that's one of my notes here. I love the amiibo.
The amiibo looks awesome though.
Yeah.
Point number second to last.
Yes. But the thing is that I hear that, and I never played the other ones, but I hear that the other Chibi-Robo games are really, really good. And so that's why I wrote that this is not the Chibi-Robo probably to start off with, unless you're one of our younger tween listeners, or if you're in like the 6-year-old,
get Happy Home Designer, get Fallout 4.
I mean, yeah,
those two games. No,
one of the things I noticed about this game is that, and one of the big complaints I noticed is that the levels, the way that they're set up, is very. I guess the original Chibi-Robo games are set up in a way that you're kind of in a house or you're in a big environment and you're this little robot. This game is set up in a lot of like almost that they had a Super Mario Maker kind of program where they had the whatever theme that they wanted to pick and then they put tiles on and it's all very obviously tiles put together and made in just a very man-made, like, obvious way. And it doesn't have that charm of the other Chibi-Robo tiles. And one of the big complaints, and one of the things I kind of want to talk about a little bit about how weird this mechanic is that I've never heard of in a video game ever, is this spin wheel thing that I guess when you beat a level, this spin wheel pops up and you tap on it and the wheel spins and it will give you a number like 2, 4, 3, and usually something like that, and then it spins and lands on like 3, and that's how many spaces you move, and that's the next level you play, and that's how you switch between levels, is by spinning this roulette and getting a random level. So let's say you start off the game and you play level 1, and then you beat that level and the roulette thing comes up and you hit 4. Suddenly you're at the end of World 1, you're on the final level,
that's stupid.
And you haven't learned any of the in-between things, so you're on a ramped-up difficulty suddenly, and then your next level you might move 2 spaces, and then the next level you might move 4. It's like, what on earth were they thinking when they came up with this mechanic? So you can, I guess, keep getting the same levels over and over if you don't if you keep playing through it again and getting the same thing, you might land on the same one and never get the level that you want. And you can move way too far ahead and get levels that are way too difficult, way too early.
Maybe we haven't played the game to fully understand how that works because it may not be as broken as it seems. But even if it's not broken, just what? Like, what's wrong with the traditional just moving forward?
And I guess that there's a whole bunch of collectibles in the game, but there's no reward for these collectibles, and that made me think about how Nintendo really needs a trophy system.
And you talked about that with Black Flag, how we wanted to play that because the gamepad's so cool with Black Flag, and honestly it's not too much graphically inferior than the other versions of it. It's actually pretty nice looking, but there's no trophy system. I mean, I think we're in the minority maybe with trophy hunters.
Yeah.
And even you and I, like, we're trophy hunters, but we're not completely diehard for it. Like, we'll stop a game if we're done with it. Like, we don't need to go back and do, like, mundane trophies. But we'll go out of our way if we can to get trophies and stuff. But yeah, just weird. I don't know. It's just, that game... The only reason I ever gave it a second look was because of the amiibo. Like, oh, I want the amiibo.
And that's another thing that's a ripoff is that in all other regions it's being sold separately. In this region, you have to buy the amiibo with the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can't buy it separately, and you may as well import it at this point because, I mean, amiibos are region free, and so just do that. Just import it.
That's what I did with my. My classic Mario. Do you have the? You don't have the modern look one, do you?
I do not. Just the old classic buddy there.
I haven't opened mine. That's the only amiibo I haven't opened is the classic Mario.
I haven't opened about, I don't know, a whole bunch of things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 amiibo that you have not opened yet. And there's several that have been opened. You have a lot of amiibo. On the Kaz Risk archive on IGN.com/blogs at the bottom, like I always have like those little descriptions. And every time I get a new amiibo, I just cross it off. It's Kaz Risk is the father of 15, 16, 17. And it's gone up since I started the archive. It's really fun. We've talked about this briefly. Moving on in the news, in the Koppai. Yoshi's Woolly World is almost here. I don't think it's this Friday.
It is this Friday, the 16th, and that is this Friday.
I thought it was the 27th.
No.
Are you sure?
Check it out.
But you're 100% positive.
I have the actual ad downstairs that says this Friday.
Ad from what? Game Informer?
No, from just Target.
Oh. Yoshi's Woolly. Maybe I'm thinking of the.
But I'm Mr. Koppai, and I'm pretty sure that I'm right about this.
Which the game's already been out everywhere else. This item will be released on October 16th. No way.
Comes out this Friday.
That's insane. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 27th. I'm like, that's really far off.
I have it pre-ordered. It'll be here on Friday. I have
off Amazon?
Off of GameStop. I'm just going to go and pick it up there. I have it being sent to the store.
Maybe I'll cancel my Amazon pre-order and we can go to GameStop together Friday morning and get it together. And maybe
that's what, Kayla was telling me that. She's like, are you going to go and get the blue and pink one? And I'm like...
Well, they have the amiibo there. Do you have the amiibo pre-ordered?
I have the green one with the pack. I don't have the other ones pre-ordered.
I wonder if they have that available for pre-order still. Because I want to get it. I also want to get the retro amiibo. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and get them. That's super exciting, though. I haven't watched much of the game, but I feel like I also know a lot about it. From what I've heard, very, very fun. Very, very cute, obviously. From what I've seen, it's very, very fun. Very, very cute. Some really unique mechanics. But it's also Yoshi, so it's going to be easy. May get a little stale because of how easy it is. But it's going to be a fun experience. It'll be fun to do Let's Plays of it. Yeah. Maybe if I honestly, maybe I'll get it Friday. I'll binge all day and do an entire series of that. Yeah. The entire game. Maybe we can play. We can do co-op together. Yeah. Maybe that'll be an entire Let's Play series. You can just come over to my place on Friday, or I can bring it over here. We can do Let's Plays. Yeah. Koppai. Speaking of Koppai, and love and happiness and video games and everything that we want, Lego Dimensions takes everything about your childhood, turns it into your favorite toy, brings it all together in the best game ever. Really want to get it, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
According to Mr. Koppai's note. Yeah. $100 for the base game alone, including the Batman WoW style and Gandalf and the Portal. And the level packs included in that, which include a little bit of Simpsons, a little bit of this and that, Wizard of Oz, yada, 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 yada. But if you want to do more of the game, you have to buy other level packs, other character packs. Right. It gets pricey. Greg Miller,
of course,
formerly of IGN Podcast Beyond, and now host of PS I Love You XOXO, co-founder of Kind of Funny and Kind of Funny Games, loves it. He's been streaming it a lot. Our best friend. He's our best friend. I'm his best friend. You're his best friend. What's up, everybody? And he's been streaming it a lot, and I've been honestly watching a lot of his streams. I watched his Let's Play.
I watched a bit of it.
I watched the Let's Play of the Back to the Future one, which kind of bummed me out, because I really wanted... That was like giving me the one pack I would have bought. And I kind of like know how it's going to play now, because I watched a lot of it. But he didn't explore everything, but he did play a lot of the story, and I watched that. But anyway, I eventually think I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
For one, the game looks just fun.
Yeah.
It's like everything you've ever wanted as a kid. To bring your Legos to life. 2, the trophies just seem really enticing. That seems like that seems like addicting. Just that side of it. Yeah. He got the platinum the other night, and
wow, he's got it already.
Yep.
Wow.
He did a live stream with Steimer, and he was funny. Someone sent a GIF of him playing it, of when he got the platinum, and in the video he's just staring at just a blank face, open mouth, and it's like the platinum pops up and he just doesn't change, and Steimer goes like, puts her hands in the air and freaks out like, you did it, and he's just staring forward like, yep, got it. Just another platform or a platinum to add to the collection and stuff. But no, it seems like, I mean, a lot of the little Legos look really cool. Like, I may actually start buying the level packs before I even buy the game, because I really, really want that Marty McFly and DeLorean pack.
Yeah.
And I really want the Jurassic World level pack.
Oh, yeah.
Although I just want Jurassic World, the Lego game.
No. Me too.
It has Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3 in it. I don't know how I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, why do I not have that game?
Well, right now I'm busy with Fallout 3.
That's true.
Then I
just bought Fallout 3.
But then I was like, I don't know. I might go to New Vegas or something.
I really want Jurassic World, though. Or Jurassic.
Me too.
The Lego seems so fun. But yeah, really expensive, and it's just sad that it is so expensive. Like, I wish they would have just found a way to make it $60. Maybe even like cut out some of the content, and then so I could kind of parcel it out. But just
even like $80,
taking
$20 out.
Taking the $100 dive right away.
Yeah,
is a little risky. It seems.
I can't do that.
I mean, if anything, it seems like you should be able to buy. I don't even know how they would have done it though. But maybe just buy the Portal and then just Batman, or just. I mean, they just include so much off the get go, where they want you to be able to experience everything. I don't know. It's just. Hopefully that drops in price, maybe even. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it will, because I think people will buy it, and I think they're going to make money off the $100. And I go and I check on Amiibo like in every store I go to, though, and now it's always buy the Amiibo.
Yeah.
And it is very enticing. They have a whole wall. I mean, they really hit it. Like, they just...
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that I just think, like, I mean, they're planning on releasing these things for indefinitely, aren't they? Kind of like Infinity and all that. Like, we're just kind of they just have level packs coming out.
Yeah, that's been the interesting thing.
Indefinite time.
I'm kind of worried that, and I don't know if they've spoken about this, so maybe someone else in the comment section can know. I don't know if they're ever going to make those other Lego games again, like Lego Jurassic World or the Star Wars Saga, or... Yeah. I mean, I hope they do. I mean, maybe they won't, because that'd be kind of silly for them to do that. Like, just release it as a level pack. If they want to do Star Wars Episode 7 Lego pack, they just add in Star Wars Episode 7. Although, is there Star Wars in there? I know they've done Star Wars Legos, but with Star Wars being Disney Infinity, that's interesting. Because I know Lego has Star Wars, and there's lots of Lego Star Wars stuff, but how's that going to work? Does anyone know? Because I would get a level pack with Star Wars. With Captain Phasma. Brianna Tarth. I'm excited for that, especially after Battlefront. But no, I'm really excited to eventually get that, and I'm excited to see like kind of where that goes. It'd be nice maybe to dive in later, and for those that can't see, which would be everyone, Zach is just yagging a boo over here, which I'm just gonna leave it at that. You'll just. We're in a Nintendo kind of studio, lots of Nintendo toys, and Zach's gagging a boo. But it's so hard to continue this conversation with that happening in the background. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where that goes, and hopefully it drops in price. As we wrap this up, though, there's a couple other things that you had written down there. One of them was Pokemon Go.
Yeah, which some new information.
It's been a little bit developed. Someone posted on the internet the other day that Pokemon Go had been canceled with a link to the news, and I clicked on it. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you go. And I was like, oh no, they got me. It's 2015. I got rickrolled. I was so sad though. I'm like, what? I was really excited for Pokemon Go, and still am. So we can talk about that maybe more next week. We always delay Pokemon to next week. It's always the thing. And then
these were possible discussions. Yeah. We kind of got to everything that.
We had good discussions. And then the other thing is that Pokemon 2016, like they have talked about that, maybe as a possible NX thing, which I think we've actually talked about in the past. Because I know I've put it as a headline once, Pokemon NX, just to get views. But I think that's it. And so you're going to go back and you're going to play Fallout 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna probably finish my Destiny dailies. Maybe show Dad, since I'm back home from college. Maybe I'll show Dad my Super Mario Maker levels. I have to get the Let's Plays edited. I have to edit this. Just realized that. That sucks.
Have him try out Super Bobbly Bro. See how far
I gotta beat that. I gotta do Let's Play that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing Let's Plays. I have Per Schneider. I have a few of his levels I'm gonna be putting up.
Yeah.
Ken's
I
levels.
enjoyed watching.
You need to play Ken's.
Vikings.
You won't beat him.
Oh, okay.
It's impossible to beat Ken's. He has a 0.05% clear rate on his levels.
Well, dang.
Yep, it's on it. I think the Let's Play is like 30 minutes, and I tried both of his levels, and then we get past the first part, and then I downloaded it to like just go and see what happens later, and it's just, Ken, how did you beat this? It's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
I mean, and the funny thing is, like, I did figure out how to beat the first part, but I just couldn't figure it out. And then I don't think I have any more viewer levels. I have Uniclays from my IGN, and then
yeah, because you never did Super Bobbly Bros.
yeah, because I knew I was gonna need some time for that. And
Yeah.
I wanna beat it when I do a Let's Play of it. I want there to be that moment in the Let's Play where it's just like, got it.
Yeah.
And so I'll have some time this week to film that, and then maybe I'll even start Fallout 3 tonight. Oh, also, I don't know when it's gonna be going up, but sometime this week or maybe next week, Jesus of Skyrim will be returning. I know this is a Nintendo podcast, but you guys like video games, hopefully. And Jesus of Skyrim started in 2013. I lost the video files and didn't complete after episode 4.
And now they've resurrected?
And then I found episode 5 and uploaded that, and it took like days to save it because it was 60 frames per second footage in a very crappy video editor. And I just got new video software this past week. And in case you haven't noticed, the Super Mario Maker videos are all in 60 frames per second now. Yeah, and I was able to edit. Most of the game is in 30 frames per second, but that little menu bopping, 60 frames. And then, so Jesus of Skyrim is back with 60 frames per second. And at the end of episode 10, I drop a little hint of maybe what will happen in the future with Jesus. If he's going to be coming back in another game. So, and don't worry, the name Jesus of Skyrim makes it sound like it's super religious. It's just basically if Jesus were to be in Skyrim. So no murdering, no killing. I guess that's the same thing. No stealing, no lying. And there's one really funny scene where there's a girl wearing very revealing clothing, and because he's Jesus, he looks away. And it's like the screen like turns to the girl, and I'm like, oh no! It's like pulling the screen away, and it's just fun. They kind of have like to try to play a game like Skyrim with complete purity is basically the concept. And so, sorry if it offends you that his name is Jesus. Could have easily been any other just really pure person, but I think Jesus is kind of the worldwide recognized as that kind of pure guy, even if you don't think he's the Son of God. So, so there's that. That'll be going up either this week or maybe I don't know when I'm gonna upload that. I think I'm gonna go ahead with this week, coinciding with the Super Mario Maker videos. But yeah, we're at an hour and 2 minutes, so I'll let you guys go. Zach has to get back to the wasteland and bring his dog home, and I have to edit this. I still have to set up my computer. I haven't even done that yet. So thank you so much for listening, though. Had a lot of good topics.
Yeah.
And maybe next week, before if we record next Saturday, maybe I could or maybe we can record even on Friday, maybe, so we can have another episode in person. But if not, either way, we'll probably be back next week with Koppai Podcast, unless I'm on the road traveling. We'll try to get it done, but I may be traveling again. But we'll always be back. We're not going to stop. We just may have a couple breaks because we have busy lives. But if you did enjoy the video or audio podcast or whatever, be sure to click the like button, share button, subscribe button. Lots of Let's Plays, lots of podcasts, lots of live streams, lots of discussions, lots of written content, lots of tweets, lots of Instagrams, lots of Snapchats. Everything and anything. Support us and we'll support you. Leave your course IDs down below if you want us to play your levels. We'll play them. We'll star them. Those precious, precious stars that you need, and we'll share them and advertise them to scratch your back if you scratch ours. We love you. We thank you. In case you don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Cool. Pie!
Cool.
Pie!
Cool.
Pie!
Cool. Pie!
Cool pie! Cool pie! Cool pie! Cool pie!